I am not a financial advisor. These videos are all meant for educational purposes only. All Complete Trader Academy videos are my personal opinion and perspective. Trading carries a high level of risk, and all results are your own responsibility. Please always demo first. Hey everybody, welcome back to CTA's Daily Review. Today is July 31st, Monday 2023, end of the month here. So we got this bullish candle out of nowhere at the end of the day. Very sneaky of them. So they decided to take out Friday's high. Finally, we went into a little bit of a consolidation, which was easy trading in my opinion, but they did not want to break that level down, as you see here. All consolidating indecisive candles, didn't want to break lower and wanted to hold. So here's the thing. On Friday, I mentioned that we should be kind of structuring down, but number one, it's the end of the month today, so things are a little bit different. Number two, we have non-farm news this week, and generally before they want to bring it down, sometimes they'll come and wipe out the people who are buying. So if I switch this to a month chart, I'm going to try to do a review for the month as well. But now we close this month here, right? The problem is with this month closing like this, right? The thing is we can, this next month, it's August, we could now pop up and take out that high before coming back down. It's very common. So in this case, on the 4 hour, they would reach back up here. Why? Because they want to wipe out the market. They want to disrupt it, right? They don't want everybody following in, and by the time they come up any higher, people are done trying to sell, and by then is when they'll bring it down. So if I was to look at this bigger chart here, look at the daily, we already took out that high. So now, I mean, it's definitely still bullish. We didn't get that movement down, right? So you got to make decisions based off of kind of what's happening. Even though I was sort of still married to the idea of breaking down a little bit, especially like below here, but we got news this whole week. It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very, it's going to be kind of tough because this can go either way, right? We're back like right damn near in the middle, of that high and that low. So we'll see what they decide to do. But in general, because I mentioned options of us breaking up as first, then coming down, or when I went over the review of the historical data and the seasonality, and then or coming down first to go into August, and then if you watch that video, I believe I said that on Friday. Was it Friday or Thursday of last week? But anyways, so let's get into it here. So we're going to start with, so remember, we have that high here that's on Friday, right? And it is sitting there. And we did say this was like that lower low. We're retracing for the lower high. Okay, now I adjusted the fib from here. It was here at first, and we adjusted it. Said, okay, we hit the 79 area. We sold off. That worked that day. But now this is turning out to be maybe the higher high and a higher low, and it's not done yet. Sometimes they'll take out that high. If you look on a 15-minute over here, you'll see, if you see here, we have an imbalance sitting right in there. We have that last up candle, like to the left of me, this blue one right here. So we might want to tap that. And I kept that line on. This line is this light green line, which was the high of February 22nd. So, and if you watch previous videos and you're following daily, you'll see that I wanted to kind of hit this kind of like and retest it as well. And we might just do that this week. Obviously, we're not too far. But so that was an idea. Plus, if you go into this, I mean, we got some liquidity there. We had that liquidity there, and I knew that they probably would do it. But I thought we would do that kind of like on Sunday night, kind of leading in to the day already. But they didn't. So if you're looking at this 5-minute chart I'm talking about right there, it would have been nice if they came up first to grab it. You know how they came down like this in the middle of the night. Or I should say just Asia, I'm sorry. And so, that's the kicker. I mean, that's part of the game that you got to deal with, right? Like, how far is it going to retrace back? Or does it come for that liquidity above first? Just like for the example, what I'm saying is like this example right here. See this? See how we peaked up again. We shot down, we broke structure kind of there. And then we shot up one more time. See that? This big wipeout? That's manipulation. So this scenario, I feel like we're in this scenario, right? And I don't know if I mentioned it last week, but obviously this is a very smaller scale, right? But I looked at it this way, that is possible, just like over here as well. And what I was hoping for was, I don't know how I can explain it, but something like this, right? Something in this nature. I was looking for something like this leg like here. Anyways, let's continue. So the day opened up, gapped up, right? And then came down and all right, made a low there. Did not take out that low here. So that was also a suspect situation that we might come for up here because we're making higher lows, right? So anyways, and then, so this is the low in Asia. And then we have this in London. You see that the structure is still going up. Now, I'm going to need to go to a smaller time frame for this, but let me go to a 1 minute. I really caught these on 10 seconds though. But, so you see here at 8:49, roughly the time, pre 9 o'clock. So I saw this and I happened to be ready to go, but I was like, no, I'm not messing with this. Let me wait for the 9:30 open. And because I wasn't sure if they were going to try to grab that high first, right? So they didn't. We started dropping and then boom, they told on themselves with this big shooting down price action. And really what it was doing was it was getting into this imbalance on the 1 hour right there at the 2 a.m. London imbalance. So as soon as this shot down, it was beautiful. I didn't even take a loss. On a 10 second, it's much clearer. I don't want to kind of do this on a 10 second, man. This is too much to deal with. But you'll see, yeah, it's just kind of crazy. But I want to show you beautiful pattern that I look for. Didn't even take a loss here. Caught it all the way. Where am I going? I'm like, okay, we're going to come and take out this high at the least, which was that pre 9 o'clock, or they would go up here, which I didn't think they would go up here. I was married to an idea of kind of coming down at first, but I want to get I missed the first move in my mind. I'm like, no problem. I'm going to catch the second move. What's the second move look like? Right here. Pops up, comes right back into the block, comes right back up. Take it to here at the least, take the profit out, done. Not trying to hold shit. All right, so then I take a loss here, trying to sell this, comes back up, and it wasn't a big loss. Then comes back down, I take another sell here, right there. Sure enough, it pops up again. That's 2 losses, right? The third time, didn't lose. All right, so now catch this trade all the way down. I wanted to break this low, but on a 10 second, if you see this low right here, see that low right there? See how it's the exact same level? When I see that, and it bounced up, I was out because I had a strong feeling that they'd come and wipe out everybody who's selling here. Sure enough, look to the left, or to the right, I mean, you'll see that they did wipe out. Now they come all the way back up here, okay? And so I don't take this trade. I get out, but I'm just like, I'm pretty much like not trying to mess with this day. I know it's the end of the month, and it didn't give me a entry model here because I wanted it to come back in here. I would have bought it, but it didn't. You see there's a gap right there. It comes right here. Now I could have got in here, but this is just not what I want to trade. I don't want to trade that. And sure enough, it ended up going all the way back up, dude. Now the question is, does it take out that high or not? Right here, right? And then I'm not even looking at this high. You can see the exhaustion on the 1 hours. The bodies are lower. So I was like, yeah, it's probably going to sell from here again. Okay, so I take this sell. Okay, I take this sell from here once it comes back right back into there. comes down, comes back up. Okay, I'm good. My stop loss is, I put my stop loss right here. Okay, I put the stop loss, actually, well, no, once it dropped and came back, my stop loss was up here. But then when this came down, I put the stop loss right here, because now I'm looking at this up candle to hold, and I put it fucking too tight right there. And then the price comes back up. Look how it peaks right above. Look at this. See how it peaks right above, but look where it's going. It's going right back to touch this last block. Look at the same level. Now, when I saw this, I'm like, damn. So they took me out, right? Which is no big deal, but take me out. And then sure enough, I'm like, oh, now we're ready to come down. So price shoots down, comes up. Now I'm glad that I wasn't so tight on my entry. I'm using limit orders for this. And I'm like, okay, we got a gap right there. I don't know if we're going to reach this last block. They usually will trick us and not get it. So I'm like, let me at the least close this gap. Sure enough, fills perfectly. Stop loss is there, and it runs off. Now, I'm a specialist on the 10-second chart and with Dow Jones, so I know how this thing moves. I don't trade nothing else. I don't need to trade anything else. When Nas was doing well, I almost wanted to go to Nas because it was just flying up. But what I like about Dow is that they're clean, even though they're deceiving, and they're really, like, for example, this is not normal. For them to bring the price this low in this candle on a 10-second is generally not normal. Usually it'll stop right here. It won't go this deep. So I've been noticing that in the past months or recent month that they've been getting even lower. I'm like, oh, is that right? Well, I'm still going to put my stop loss here though, or a point lower, 1 point lower. It's just, which is what you want to do, because it could tap that same level and bounce, and it'll kick you out. But anyways, so yeah, I know how this operates, man. And where am I taking this? I as you can guess, I want to take out this low. So I held this, and I was gonna get out right here. I was like, oh man, this thing's gonna reverse. But I was really married to the idea of coming down to begin with. We wanted to come down. So what did it do? It taps it at pretty much lunchtime, end of lunchtime, taps it, and then I see this, and I'm like, yeah, I'm done completely. So I'm actually done with the day, and sure enough, I knew we would go into a consolidation. I know that the day is going to kind of be a little funky because it's the end of the month, right? And on the month chart, it already has a wick at this point. So I'm like, yeah, okay, cool. But so I left it alone. Sure enough, price, let me get out of this time frame. And then look at this shit. So I'm done with my day. I'm like, no more. I had a phenomenal day. Great. Great way to end the month. And then sure enough, the price comes up. It's consolidating. I'm like, glad I didn't mess with it. And then if I was paying attention to this, I probably would have caught it. But the price on a 10-second looks much better. But it comes down. It stays into this block right here. Stays right in there. And then you see all these bullish candles. Now, this is the last 10 minutes of the day. Oh, I'm sorry, the last 10 minutes of the power hour. And I tell people all the time, I say, yo, watch those last 10 minutes. Those 10 minutes and the next 10 minutes so between 3:50 and 4:10, a lot of crazy movement happens. And yo, this thing bought up amazingly in the last 10 minutes of that. I don't look at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock as even an option to trade. So when I say at the end of the day, I mean 4 o'clock to me, because obviously futures close at 4:15. But anyways, look what it did at the end of the day. Massive price. I was like, dude, that's crazy. And look what it did. Look where it came. Not a coincidence. So look how sneaky they were. And one in this day, it's like, okay, you're not really going anywhere. We're just consolidating. I love consolidating, to be honest with you. It's very easy for me. It's either I'm going to buy from above the liquidity or below the liquidity, or vice versa, selling. It's like there's only two options you got. I mean, for me, and it's like whichever one happens, I'm going to take that trade no matter what. I'm going to, but I didn't buy this. I would have liked to, but I just didn't like the way it sprung on me and it didn't give me an entry model. So I was like, fuck you. But look how at the end of the day, look at the last 10 minutes, they go and grab, they wipe out all these people who were selling, because yo, they know this thing should sell. And on top of that, you know, if you've been watching videos for the last year, even from me or in general, you'll notice that they were always saving the price. Look how many times they were trying to save the price from sinking. You know, they push it back up, come down, push it back up, come down, push it back up, come down, push it back up, right? Like they were constantly saving the price. You know what I'm saying? So anyways, long story short, here's the thing, man. I'll be honest with you. I don't know. This is going to get really tricky, even though if I put a fib here, you know, and I know we should, in this range, we should be coming back to an equilibrium for a fair delivery. Price should come back to somewhere in here. We have that daily imbalance still, but that's a pretty strong ass candle. I mean, you know, I don't obviously know how this day is gonna close, but with them doing that at the end like that, and with the news that we got coming, it's very easy to come take this high out. What other objective do they have above here? Well, I mean, they have that high, which is, I know it sounds crazy for us to be back at the heights of 2021, which doesn't even make sense. I don't understand how the value could be here, but you know, but that's a high. Getting into this block right here on January 11, you know, hitting the open of it, we're not far off from it. What is it, like 300 points? That ain't shit. For a week like that we have coming, that ain't shit. So, I mean, you know, I don't know. I don't know. So that's where I'm at. Would I like for it to come down? Yeah, of course, you know, but I'm not going to fight nothing, dude. I mean, I'm going to follow this bitch wherever it goes. So, again, more fine-tuned, even if we don't break this high here. Okay, so let me shrink this a little bit. So if we do not break this high, obviously that high too, but if we don't break this high, what's in here? We have that last up candle right there. Man, I'm going to delete this. Super annoying. So we have, you can see, right? We have that last up candle there. We have that high, February 9th high that we could retest as well and come down from. And on this fib here, if from this range, I don't like it. I don't want to do it like that. I kind of want to change the fib here, even though it should be here, but I don't know what's going to happen. But if we did, then, you know, we obviously came above 79. But if we put this here, 79 would be right here, and right above that is that imbalance with these up blocks right there. So this might be an area, hold on a second. It's just too much to do. Yeah, let me look at this on a 5-minute. So, looking this on a 5-minute. What do we got? So take a look. Where are we now? We took out that high right there. See right there. So we have an imbalance sitting in there. We have this resistance right here. And then we also have that high. We could take out that high and leave that high. And then we have this massive imbalance right there. I mean, even though this is a balanced price range, you know, popping above here to get into there is possible. And that previous high, which was Wednesday the 26th, if I was to drag this out, it is possible that we retest that as well. So I don't know if it's going to hit there or not, but I'm giving you all the options. And it's going to be very interesting. So, but in a general conversation, it would make sense if they took out that previous month high. Now that we closed, this is the high of July. So, I mean, it's right there. It doesn't make sense to not get it. You know, it's like 140 points away. Like, why not wipe out all of July's high and then come down, right? So, hope this helps. You guys take care and God bless.